Hello everybody, how you doing tonight? Just heading out in the garage. I think I'm going to go ahead and get some wood gathered up and start on some cutting boards. I got a bunch of miscellaneous wood laying around that I think will be nice and handy for that. And as I came out the door, I happened to look up and let me show you what I see. Two of my lights are out. I've got two still working, but I guess they blew out. I don't recall them being out this morning, so must have hit the switch at some point today, one of the kids maybe, and the bulbs blew. So I'm gonna have to get that little bulb changer and change those later. I've also got some stuff over here. I've got my shelf up here, and you can see it's empty there, and there's plenty of room on it. And I've got these items here. These are left over from Christmas. We took them down. They are some Santa Clauses, and one of them is the snowman stocking holder that I made minus the hat. We took the hat and nose off. There's another blow up down there. We've got a crib. There's the crib right there. And all of that needs to go up there. I've got to get that done this weekend. I've also got a big bucket of wire. I keep a bunch of wire for televisions, you know, cable wire, telephone wire. I got some Cat 6 in there. It's just wire that I get in there and cut a piece when I need it. I need to get that put up top and get into the shop here. So like I said, not too much going on. Let me get the lights and I'll show you where I am. I did work off and on the last couple of nights, even though I was running to my daughter's dances between the basketball games. I made pretty good progress. Here are 3 sets of the blanks that are ready to go. They look really cool. I'm getting ready to start the next step on them. I've got a 4th set that is in the vices over here, and it's done. It just needs to finish, or just needs to be taken out of the vices. Out of 5 sets, the very first set that I started is the only one I had trouble with that didn't turn out. And it was on the very first cut, and I think it was my fault. If you take a look at that, I think what I needed to do is I tried to level the blanks up on the end, and I needed to just slide them back and forth so that they sort of fit together a little nicer. I'm not exactly sure if that's the case or not, but you know, I hate to waste them, so I'll throw them aside and we'll find something else to use them for later on. But really glad that I've got 4 full sets, and what I'm going to do with those tonight is, as I get my materials together for the cutting board, I'm going to fire up the joiner, and I need to joint one side of each of these sets of blanks so that I can stick them together and have them match up nicely. So I'm just going to run them across a joiner, clean off one side, tape them back together, and then we'll get ready for our next round of cuts. So I'm happy with how they're going. I'm not getting done as fast as I would like, but I am making progress, and it looks like it's going to be in the 40s this weekend and raining. So I don't know how much progress I'll make on these, because I think this weekend I'm going to try to get that intake manifold gasket replaced on my Grand Prix. I'm pretty excited about getting that finished up, because that's the last, with the exception of brake pads on the back, that's the last big thing that the car needs, and it should be running great for a while. But I'm getting ready to go up on the loft there and just dig around and see what I can find in the way of wood, so that I can start thinking seriously about making some cutting boards. I just came down from my loft, and I've got a stack of wood here. These are some scraps I had stored up top. I think there's some walnut in there. There might be some mahogany, some cherry, I think. I've got some maple over here, some more walnut. So I've got a nice selection of wood. What I need to do now is just decide how I want to go about processing this wood so that I can prepare to make it into cutting boards. And by that, I think I really need to decide how thick do I want the cutting boards, how long, how wide do I want them, so that I can decide how I want to go about, you know, how thick I want to cut this wood. I don't want to just start cutting and then say, oh shoot, I should have done this, I should have done that. So I want to take just a little bit of time. I've got enough to make, I don't know, maybe 3, 4 cutting boards here, maybe 5, I don't know. So I'm happy with that, but I'm going to take a little time. I'm not going to start on those tonight. I'm going to think deeply tonight about processing. I wanted to show you guys this. This is the piece of basswood I had drawn on the other night, and you can kind of still see there at the bottom some of the pencil marks. I can see it real well in the light here. It just doesn't show up real well on the camera, but you can see I threw some stain on there. Let me show you the difference that makes. There's a standard piece of basswood, and there is a stained piece. Now when I go and cut the chips out of this piece, this is what's going to show through, this bright colored wood. So it's going to give a really cool contrast, and then I'll just throw a finish over top of that. So and I don't know if I'll start on that tonight. Like I said, I've been gone for a couple days, and I'm kind of overwhelmed with all these ideas, and I'm trying to get things together and kind of lump them together. Like, for example, these blanks we talked about a little while ago, I need to run them over the joiner and joint one side. These will have to be cleaned up first. And as I joint one side, I can also joint some of the wood I'm going to make cutting boards out of. So I want to kind of lump those together, if you know what I mean. I've also got this, we talked about this the other day, this piece I need to make for the antique cabinet, the shelf holder, and I need to run this across the joiner. So this is all going to be jointing, and I don't want to pull it out 2 or 3 times because it's heavy. So I'm just trying to get some things figured out. I mean, these and the shelf piece will be easy, but once I figure out how to process my cutting boards, then I'll drag it out. I'll start doing everything. A buddy of mine just swung by. I was at club the other day, and we were talking about turning platters and turning bowls, and one of the guys, really likes to start off with a worm screw. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like the way I'd like to try it, but I don't have a worm screw. I've been looking for one online. They're about 24, 25 bucks. And one of my buddies says, man, I got 4 or 5 of them. I'll bring you one. So he swung by today. I'm out walking my dog. This blue truck pulls up, slows down, stops, tinted windows. I didn't know who it was. And it's my buddy. And his wife hands this package out the window to me. And it's got this worm screw in it. And it's also got a set of, I think he said 50 millimeter jaws for a Nova 2 chuck. So, man, oh man, I asked him, I said, what do you want for them? I mean, I'm glad to pay you for them. I didn't expect to get them for free. He's like, just use them. He goes, I got a bunch of them. They're sitting around my shop doing nothing. He said, if you'll use them, that's all I ask. So, man, I can't believe that. I'm excited about it. So, sometime here in the near future, and that's another thing on the plate. You see what I mean by getting overwhelmed? I have got a brand new low-speed grinder, a Rikon grinder. I got to get set up. I've got a CBN wheel, an 8-inch CBN wheel to go on it. I got to get it mated to my Wolverine jig, which currently has a 6-inch grinder with a standard composite wheel. Once I get that set up, I have a bowl gouge. My bowl gouge has the standard bowl gouge cut on it. I want to go with more of an Ellsworth grind. That's what I've been, one of my buddies in the club, another fellow, was showing me how to turn a bowl, actually 2 fellas, and they both used that Ellsworth grind, and I just had a really good time with it. It felt good. I was able to really pick my cuts up, take nice light cuts. I had a great finishing cut. I was happy with my progress. So I want to get that set up. And I've got the tool, I've got the Vergrind jig to be able to do that. So I've got to get all that set up and running and then grind it. And then once I do, I've got a bunch of big chunks of wood that I can experiment with. And I'm going to pull out this worm screw, and I'm going to attempt to turn some bowls. Nothing too big. I'm going to start on my small lathe over there, so there'll be, I don't know, 6-inch bowls, 8-inch bowls maybe. But, maybe some little plates or something. But it's something I want to learn, and I'll be sharing that with you guys as I do it. But you see what I mean? I just get myself overwhelmed. I'm away from the shop for a couple of days. I'm sitting at these basketball games, and the kids are playing ball, and I'm waiting for my daughter to dance, and my mind is racing. I got my little notebook, and I'm taking notes. I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I overwhelm myself. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 projects just sitting right here, and a possible 5th project with the bowl, I'm putting the cart ahead of the horse again. So I got to stop, take a step back, figure out a game plan, and then come out here and attack all this. So, but I'm pretty excited, and it should be some cool videos coming up too. I got to get back to making videos. I've been out of it for so long with the holidays that I've almost forgotten how to do it. You get a little rusty, but man, I've talked way too long tonight. I'm going to go ahead and shut this video down. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I will keep you up to speed on everything I do. Even if I'm building a video for the other channel, I'll do some little shots over here just to kind of show you guys progress and what I'm working on. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you guys. Love the comments. Love the interaction. And so keep it up. Just keep talking to me, man. I appreciate it. Have a great evening, and I'll see you guys again really soon. Take care.